Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 4. Oh my goodness, day 4 of how to make money with email. Maybe today we'll actually talk about how to make money with email. I have been just teasing you with that this whole time. We're going to find out if we actually can today. Tell me, everybody, how's it going? Give me an update while people are straggling in here. Anything to be excited about? Any good news? Any bad news? Any crushing defeats out there? Let's hear it. Go ahead, unmute. Where are you at in the process? Anybody brave? Anybody do anything? All right, let's just all look at each other. That's okay too. I'll assume that everybody is exactly where they were before, or they're private individuals, introverted bloggers. Could we have one or two of those on here? I understand. Okay. Well, I hope that it's going well. You're making progress. Progress to me at this point includes you're writing your quick start guide, you're finishing it up, you've figured out where to start posting to get it out there so your audience will see it. That is in front of your traffic. That could be all sorts of different ways. It could be a landing page that you direct people to on Instagram, like Ralphie Jacobs did. It could be a pop-up like we discussed yesterday. If you missed that, go back and watch that session. It could be that you're starting to get Slickstream installed, whatever. I hope that you're on your way there. If you are stuck for any reason, let me know. And I want to help you get unstuck. Sometimes the tech can be daunting. Sometimes we get in our heads about the strategy. Somebody posted an email on autopilot last night and shared her quick start guide that she was making, and you could tell that she was in that maybe overthinking it mode, and it was just fine. And let's go. Let's. And sometimes we need the validation. If that's you need validation, then drop it into the Facebook group, and Christy promises to read every one of your stuff. I've got things to watch on TV, but Christy will watch she'll read everything and give you great comments. All right. Raptive added the highlighter to your sign-up boxes. Sandy, that's awesome. Was that something that do you think you got special treatment, or is that something we all can learn from here?
That's a good question. I don't know. Whenever I get stuck, they just do it for me. I haven't really thought about it, but they're really nice. I mean, I would never have gotten that at Mediavine. So I'm new to Raptive. So I'm just really happy they do that for me.
Yes, I think Anisha asked the question that everybody's wondering a little bit. What do you mean by highlighter?
It's similar to Grow with Mediavine. It will highlight your sign up box in a post.
Uh-huh.
And so that way, hopefully it's in front of people and they want to sign up and get more.
What you're meaning is when you scroll down, it's almost like a pop-up, but it's not actually a pop-up. It just
Yeah.
grays out everything else around it for a moment when you're passing it by. If you
Mhm.
have if you felt comfortable sharing a link, we could drop it in here. We could show people what it looks like on your site and what they did.
Yeah. Right now they have it in my sidebar for because that's the one I have. I'm just slowly getting them put into blog posts, but let me look for one. I'll put the link in.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. Great. Okay, good work. See, ask and you shall receive. It's fantastic. Let's make this stuff happen. Let's do it. All right, today let's start talking about making money, shall we? Um, just curious, before we get into this too far, how many that are here with me live today are, besides the ads, are making money in any sort of way from email? Or actually, I should ask it differently. How else do you make money, period, not with email? Some of you sell products, some of you sell services, some of you do coaching, some of you do, what else is there? Have communities. So what have you got? Or what are you planning to do? This will help me think about for the next couple of days. Affiliate links, excellent. Yeah, didn't mention that one. We're going to talk about affiliate in just a minute. Okay, so you're selling digital products, rubs and apparel, good. Yeah, sponsorships, all right, plus affiliate links. All right, great. Want to sell an ebook in the future? YouTube drives traffic to the blog, sponsors currently. style consultation, sign me up, Dave. Sign me up. I clearly need it. All right, good, excellent work. And that's how you do it, folks. The end. Do those things. I'm going to share with you today. First of all, I'm going to pull from some slides that, because I used these slides at Tastemaker conference, and I'm going to pull a couple of these slides in here because I think they're relevant to what we're going to talk about for the next 2 days. As we know, things are changing. I mean, this is no big shocker here, right? Everything in the world that we're working on is in upheaval. If at least it feels like it to me sometimes. Google's getting rid of cookies. We've got AI is becoming a important force for creating content. What does that mean for other people coming into the space and our own competition with our own stuff? Google itself is using its own AI to answer people's search queries. I was in a Facebook group where several food bloggers were showing how one search engine result, I think it was Bing, it was pulling in the entire recipe into the search result up top. Stuff is changing. Some people are using AI directly, like me, instead of search. And so all this stuff is dramatically changing. And if I had to look ahead 6 months into my crystal ball, and I knew that I had 6 months before there was going to be major changes to my business, my digital business, major changes to my traffic, you won't be surprised to know that my advice would be grow your list as big as possible. That's why I think you're here at the right time, right place. But with the big list, you get to do all these things. You can drive your own traffic wherever you want them to go. That means that when you launch a product or a new blog post or a YouTube video, your audience is just an email away. You can tell them to go there. You're not at the whim of Lord Google or Lord Pinterest. Also, let's say that you're in the process of moving to a new platform. Well, you can jumpstart a new channel fast when you have your audience all in one place. You can say, hey, everybody, we're going to go be on WhizBangDoodle platform, the new thing. And because they already know your content is awesome and they'll follow you there. We're going to talk today a lot about unlocking revenue streams. So I'm going to blow through that. But I also don't want to leave this conversation without touching on something that I've talked about a little bit with y'all. I was kind of in jerk mode here in previous sessions. When I say, congratulations, you rank #1 for something. Do you really have a business? Right now, you may be blessed with a #1 ranking, and that's driving your traffic. That doesn't mean that you have a business or a brand. You are way more than a search result. And your engaged readers, they get that. So our opportunity I have to mention, let me back up for a second. Why am I talking about this in the making money section? Because this is fundamental business. And if we don't get this as creators, we won't make money going forward. Our opportunities will be reduced to nothing. Because we're like those people that are trying to game SEO and have for years with their affiliate sites that, top 10 routers of 2024, and then it's an affiliate play. That's fine, but is that a long-term sustainable business? I'm telling you that if that's you, or you think that you're anywhere close to that, maybe let's start thinking about what makes you special. Email can help do that. It can explain that you're not just another food blogger, as I said at Tastemaker, which is a food blogging conference. You're not just another style expert. Okay. What makes you special? And so then you can drive traffic on your own terms. So please don't lose sight of this and the power that email has, even if we have zero ROI on anything else. The power of establishing what makes you special in the mind's eye of our reader, aka our customer, cannot be overstated. All right, let's move on. How do we make money with emails? Let's start with the easy ones. Here's the bad news. There aren't very many easy ones. Okay. We're going to have to work at this a little bit. And the reason I say this is, I put a picture of a baby crawling. Did you make money blogging right away? Did you start out making money immediately? No, that was a slog, wasn't it? You worked your tail off, writing, planning, taking pictures, making videos, figuring out Tailwind, all the things. And now you're making some money. I know that you are because you are with Raptive. Easy way, number one, to make more money with email. Now, remember, this was presented at a conference, but I want you to follow what Raptive is doing. All right. First party data is highly valuable right now. The email address that you have so diligently acquired thanks to our Save This article and quick start guides and never miss an update. Email address is now a really valuable part of our advertising equation. Okay. I'm going to share with you, I know this is a Raptive sponsored thing, but I want to illustrate by giving you industry-wide what I am seeing. I do not have any special insight from either Raptive or Mediavine. What I'm going to tell you next is what is publicly viewable and available out there. If you look at how these companies are investing heavily in email, follow the money is a phrase that comes to mind here. Why are they spending so much time and money on this? So step number one, if Raptive is telling you that this is important, and I've been with Raptive as a creator for many years. I have been a partner of theirs doing something like this since 2020. So for almost 4 years now. I have never seen them talk about email as much as they have recently. Did you anybody just go watch the webinar they did? Was it last week? I hope some of you watched that. If you didn't, go back and watch that replay. You need to understand this stuff about why they're doing this. Raptive they bought Slickstream. They have partnered with LiveRamp, which is an important piece of the data privacy and first-party cookie opportunity. They're built out a team over the last 2 years where they are focused very heavily on email. And the RSS plugin is available too. I don't know if you saw this, but if you want, many of you may have missed this one. Oh, shoot, sorry, hang on. We'll get there. But basically what they've done is they've made a special plugin that will work with plug. Okay, it's down here at the very bottom of this article. By the way, this article needs to be your friend right now. I'm dropping this in here, and I'm going to talk more about this in just a second. But they have a special RSS feed for people on MailChimp, or excuse me, special plugin for people on MailChimp and ConvertKit who use an RSS feed. We'll come back to this in just a second, but a lot of people don't even know this is there. My point is that they're developing tools to help with this. So I have to spend a moment on this. Why does having an email address actually help you and I to make more money with advertising? With third-party cookies going away, advertisers have less information about us, the consumer of ads. Now, advertisers can use email addresses to understand their audience demographics, to understand your audience demographics. So basically, you have a subscriber list, right? A bunch of email. Behind every one of those emails is a person. That person has stayed at a Hilton, drives a Honda, goes to Costco every so often, subscribes to the Banana Republic newsletter. There's all this stuff that can be known about us now through email addresses that used to only be knowable based off of cookies following us around the internet. Now, what they're doing is they will take those email addresses, they'll drop them into these, they'll hash them, meaning they make it so that lavinaisawesome@gmail.com. They can't tell that that's Lavina. It's just a string of characters that represents this person out there. And then that gets dropped into, they call it a data clean room. I think I'm oversimplifying this process. I have to do this so that I understand it. They drop it in there and they go, whoo, what do we know about this hashtag number or hashtag, this hashed number? Who is Lavina? Well, she goes to Costco, she drives a Honda, she stayed at Hilton, all this stuff. Now they're able to create a profile, both about Lavina, who is a hashed whatever, and generally about the entire list, all of us. They can say, oh, we have a lot of Honda lovers. Hey, Honda, how about we show some ads here? Okay, it's overly simplified, but that's how targeted ads can be shown to a important portion of our audience. Is there a disclosure we need to include in our disclosure policy that we need to use if we have the email code added to our newsletters? No, that should be all covered in the Raptive privacy stuff. Now, the simplified version here is more emails that Raptive has, the better targeting they can do and provide for the advertisers. The more that the advertisers know and can target, the more money they're willing to pay. Think about it. If I have an audience of people who have been or are planning to go on a Disney cruise, who is that valuable to? Disney, Marriott, other vacation companies, cruise ship operators, highly valuable, because we know that that person has or is interested in taking a cruise, likes Disney, has money, is willing to spend it on vacations. So Marriott is going to pay more for that. That is hypothetical. Okay. So that code, let's talk about that code right here. I'm going to show you ConvertKit, for example, because many of you are on ConvertKit, but many of you are on MailChimp. All right. So basically what you do is that with every link that you send out, Anisha, this is an answer to your question as well. Every single link, in order for it to be enabled, in order for that information to be passed to Raptive where they can do anything with it, needs to have that at the end. Currently, that is a manual process. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You know what? I like you all. I think I have something to help. I had not thought of this till just now. I think I have something that can help. This is me punting real quick. Give me a quick second. Yes, I do. What a guy. You know what? My mother was selling me short when she said I was a nice kid. Here, take a look at this. All right. I have created a newsletter ID converter. This is only for ConvertKit, but if you know spreadsheets, you can modify this for your purposes, okay? And if you don't know spreadsheets, just ask ChatGPT how to make the change. So here, ConvertKit has this, MailChimp has this, it has to go, ActiveCampaign has this, that has to be added to the end. What I'm going to share with you right now is, anybody with the link, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to drop this into the chat somehow, somewhere, if I can find the chat. Okay, go in there, come up here, do file, make a copy, make your own. And then you can edit it for your purposes. Now I'm going to use Anisha's here just because I know she loves this stuff so much. Let's say that we go to the About Spice Cravings page and we want that to have an ID on it for a newsletter. I can copy that. I come in here and I just paste this here. And now I have this new link. Converted URL, don't touch. Okay. For those of you who know spreadsheets and need to change it for Flowdesk and for ActiveCampaign and whatnot, up here, this is your formula. You change that part. You see that right there? Hope that's helpful to you. You change that, and then you copy that and just drag that down as you do with spreadsheets. If you're stuck with that, get your nerdiest friend that loves spreadsheets and have them fix that for you, because it's really super simple. Now I can copy this. Watch what happens. Now I'm going to paste this up here. There it is. Do you see it? Somebody nod. Tell me you can see it. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. If I click this, it still loads this. You'll notice it disappears, but it still loaded that. And if they had clicked through that, now Raptive has that. If it came from an email address, they've got that email ID'd, meaning they now get to play with it and start figuring out how can we add this to our group of other things, other emails that we know from Spice Cravings, and then ideally show them better ads that make you higher RPMs. This is already happening. The payouts are higher. I do have inside information on this one. I've talked with James Baldwin at Raptive, and he has confirmed that you're making about 30 on ID stuff like this. You can be making 30% or higher, in some cases much higher RPMs than you do with non-ID'd traffic. The more ID'd traffic you get, the higher RPMs will be. Does that make sense? Okay. So Lavina, you don't put in the email address. It is literally this code. Okay, you're going to put this at the end of any link in ConvertKit. So for example, let's say that this was lavinaisawesome.com, article 1. You would then just like they do here, you simply paste that at the end. And then in ConvertKit, in this case, when you link to article 1, you'd use this link. What that does is it says, hey, ConvertKit, tell us what the subscriber email address is and pass that over to Raptive. We don't do any of that. It's all behind the scenes. It's invisible. Same thing is true for MailChimp. ActiveCampaign, all you're doing is adding this part to the end of every link. That's what this does here. All it's doing is it's taking this and adding that to the end of it. And now all I have to do is copy this and paste that into MailChimp, ConvertKit, Flowdesk, whatever you're using. Anisha, did that answer your question? Okay. So literally, this is your new link. Take the old link, put it here, and this is your new link. Now, my suspicion is that it won't be very long before some of these platforms do this automatically for us. There's too much money involved in it for both Mediavine and Raptive, and Mediavine does something similar. So my guess is that, again, follow the money, right? That there will be relationships formed with certain platforms, and those platforms will enable it and make it simple for us to do this. But for now, it's a manual process. Where would I put this? Well, number one, I'd put it in every quick start guide link. I'd put it in my Forever Series links. I'd put it on the save this recipe, save this article thingy. I would put it in your signature links. And then as I create new content going forward, every new broadcast, I would put it in there. Because there's money to be made. And not just today. If it remembers my email address going forward, and I come in either through that link, or even if I just come back, it's the equivalent of the way cookies used to work. And, oh, hi, Matt, welcome back. Hi, Lavina, welcome back. So about those Hilton points you have, let me show you an ad, right? So that's kind of how that goes. Little technical, but it's an interesting time that's going on right now. All right. There's a lot more to that, of course. Watch the webinar that our friends at Raptive just did. It's in their Facebook group, the replays and all that. Easy way number 2 to make money with email is send more emails. I know that seems like a cop-out, but it's not. You actually, most of you are using platforms where you don't pay by the send, you pay by the subscriber, which means you can send them once a month or 30 times a month, and it costs you the same. When you send more emails, you're going to get more clicks back, even before this ID stuff. I have some clients where I manage their stuff for them. Don't ask me to do it for you. I can't scale it right now. So I'm sorry, that's not a service I can provide to you. It is very time consuming. But these clients, we send these are, in this case, they're food, but we send an email every single day. And we have watched those creators make thousands more every month, just from, in my case, it's ConvertKit links, and I can track it. How many additional page views and sessions did we get? Multiply by the ConvertKit RPMs. And it's thousands more for every month for that creator. Okay. Now those are pretty big lists, around 100,000 or more. But this still holds true for wherever you are in your journey. Yes, some of you are going to say, nah, I'm uncomfortable with that. I think that's too much. Well, it might be for some of you. Dave, I'm not sure you can get away with sending every single day style tips. Maybe. But Anisha, you can. I know you probably don't believe me, but in certain niches like food, you can. But even going back to style, my guess, Dave, is that you're still not sending as many as you could per week. Don't know what that is, but we would be testing. I would be testing that. Here's some actual data. I surveyed 11 creators that I work with and asked them to look at their Raptive RPMs. They actually went to their Raptive rep and had them pull this data. I had to go to James and say, hey, look, this is not in the dashboard, but we need this information so that we know. And they're all on ConvertKit, so that's how I know this. Their session RPMs are normally about $49 for that February timeframe. Their session RPM across these 11 people was 60, a 22% increase. Now, some cases it was less, in some cases it was more. But my point is, send more, and you'll get paid more. Michelle, do you see a difference between the UK and USA in terms of people unsubscribing due to too many emails? I've never done a study that way. My guess is that there probably is a difference. Most of the people that I work with, it usually has a predominant US audience, and then Canada, and then maybe Great Britain is, follows on closely, depending on your niche. If it's a huge percentage of your audience, then yeah, I'd probably think about it. But again, you don't know till you test it. The way I might test this, let's say you're sending 1 a week, send 2. Say you're sending 2 a week, send 3 or 4. Actually, send 4. See what happens, run it for a month, and go back and look and see, is there any noticeable difference between unsubscribe rate per email sent? And also balance that against the number of opens and clicks that you're getting. What's the difference? What I have found when I've done those tests in food, and sorry, Dave, again, and others that aren't in food, I haven't done this test this way. But when I've done those tests, we see a tiny, almost imperceptible difference in unsubscribes. But the opens and clicks are almost exactly the same. Which means that I know, trust me, I get that there has to be a fatigue point. There has to be. But the revenue generated by sending more emails in these cases, and this may not be your business objective, I understand that, but in these cases has well justified the increased number of sends. It sounds like ads on social media might be a good idea to drive signups for the newsletter. If the ROI is there, yes, Sandy, you would have to do some calculations on that to see what is your cost to capture a subscriber on social media. By the way, things like Quick Start Guides are pretty good email captures, even with social media paid ads. And then what is your lifetime value for that subscriber? How much will you make going forward? Is there an option in MailChimp and others to ask subscribers how often they wish to receive these emails? I think you just would have to come up with a straight up ask for a poll. But here's the secret, Ria. When you ask people how many emails do they want, they'll tell you fewer. I want fewer. When you watch their behavior, that tells a different story. This is why I legit am suggesting go from 2 to 3 and just not worry about it and see what happens. Don't say anything. Just do it. Measure it for a month or 2. Because in the case, and Ria, I know your food, people get hungry a lot. They eat a lot. I've already eaten, it's 9:30 a.m. where I am. I've already eaten multiple times today. I have a problem. I will probably eat again multiple times today. So I want your recipes. I want your inspiration. I want your ideas. And when you send it to me today and I don't act on your broccoli bison mango smoothie, tomorrow when you hit me with the honey horseradish pizza, I'm like all over it, right? All right, other ways to make more money. Email more about your money makers. Not all of your posts are created equal, okay? What do I mean by that? Here's a real life example of one of my sites, okay? So here's my page views. You're very familiar with this probably if you've spent any time in your dashboards, and my RPMs. Look at this one right here. This one has made me $532, this post, but it's only been seen 11,000 times. This one's been seen 32,000 times and has made me another $80 on top of that. The difference in RPM is a $30 difference. All else being equal, now that's the important part, all else being equal, I'm going to send this one more often. Now that I know that, I'm going to include it in more emails. I'm going to put it in my Forever series. I'm going to put it in as many roundups as I can. I mean, don't use common sense. let's not get weird here. But this is a lot of people miss this. Easy way number 4. And we've touched on this a little bit with Sandy's suggestion, but understand your ROI. Many people have a hard time understanding email ROI. They go, man, I hate that MailChimp bill. I hate it. It seems like it's always going up. It is. But if you're doing this right, you're probably making more money with it. I have created the tool for you. It is it's an RPM calculator here. I'm going to pull it up for you so you don't have to find it. This is another one of those where come in here and I'll drop the link into the chat. And then for those that are on the broadcast, on the replay, you can come get it. But just come up here, file, make a copy, right? So right here, you're going to enter in how many email subscribers do you have? How many times do you send them every month? Now, that can feel a little tricky, but let's say we're doing a Forever series once a month and we're doing a seasonal newsletter plus some quick store guides happening to a certain portion, a certain portion of the audience. And it's around 8 sends a month. How many page views per click am I going to get? Let's say it's 1.3, whatever. My RPMs are not that high. Maybe they're $44. And my ESP cost, this is fixed. In the case of 50,000 subscribers at ConvertKit, if you're paying the yearly fee, it averages out to $316 per month. Okay, my profit for the month off of my sends was $370 or 4,000 something for the year. Are you looking at it that way? My guess is that you're probably not. So then that takes a little bit of the sting out of the cost of the platform that is helping you get more subscribers, build your brand, use automation to make this easier, make it look prettier, have ads in newsletters, which we'll talk about in just a second, and send more emails. How often can you repeat popular money-making posts? I don't know the exact answer to that. Sorry, but it's, go by feel. If I had, for example, if I had naan bread and I was doing a lot of Indian related recipes, I might have a meal plan where today the email is about the meal plan for this. And so, well, first, of course, we're going to start with the naan, and then we're going to have the tikka masala, and then we're going to have the butter chicken. I might include it there. I might have another email later on in the Forever series that is just like variations of naan, because naan is so popular. I might have it in the quick start guide because it's so popular there too. I might have it for if we're doing a Deepavali celebration. Well, you can't celebrate without naan. Though you have to use some creative license there and see where you can insert it, where it makes sense. Pushing it where it feels uncomfortable, you'll know. You're like, okay, this has been too much. But anyway, does this help, this RPM calculator? So just come in here and plug in these. The only thing you're changing, by the way, are the things in yellow, okay? Everything else will populate itself. So I hope this gives you some sense of how much money am I actually making here? This is even before the uplift that you'll get from Newsletter ID or from any products or advertisings and affiliate links that you have in there. So this is just straight up traffic. All right. Okay. Now we've moved past the easy ways to make money with email. Now we're into the other ones. I want you to start with this. What problem can you solve? And down here, I say, answer that question seriously. Genuinely speaking, do you know what problem you can solve for people? What problem does your content solve? I'm reiterating this. I'm hounding you on this a little bit more than maybe you think I should. But my experience has been that many creators either just don't know, have never thought about it, or have lost sight of it. They may have gotten into content creation, chasing a hobby for a minute. Something was on their mind and they got going, and then it turned into this thing. Or maybe they're like, you know what? I'm going to straight up copy what Feel Good Foodie does. And I'm just going to do whatever she does. These are all very plausible ways that you got going with your business. But have you thought about what problem you can solve for people? This is not just an affiliate play for cologne. You're helping men look better. You're not just helping men look better. You're helping men feel better about themselves and gain confidence. You're not just helping them feel better about themselves and gain confidence. You're helping them get better jobs, better life partners, and have a better quality of life. You see how you're solving these problems for people? Today, I want to talk briefly about the power of segmentation. For purposes of this discussion, we're going to talk about it from an email perspective. We have, I think, already talked, there's a few people that have lifestyle, a few people that have different cuisines in their recipe. Some people do travel. Some people have got, in Cincinnati, I've got different seasons, okay? What is your segment? Or just in Cincinnati, it might be new visitors. It might be longtime people that just want something to do in Cincinnati this weekend. What's our segmentation? If you can identify those people by writer type, you can divide up your list and grow your list based off of that type and create individual unique messages for each segment. The idea here is to help them where they are. It's a real simple example, but I think one that we can all understand. A slow cooker is different from an Instant Pot. I can't just put out a slow cooker recipe to my audience and expect that the Instant Pot people are going to benefit from it. The reason we do this is we're going to get better open rates. We're going to grow our list faster. We're going to narrow down the solutions for people so it's more relevant for them. And ultimately, this is going to build sales. I have said this many times. Solve my problems and maybe I'll buy from you. I don't like giving my money away. I know that's just me. I know I'm the only tightwad in the world. I have a hard time going to Circle K, a convenience store here where I live, and giving them my $1.29 for my 44 ounces of Diet Mountain Dew. The only reason I do that is because I'm chemically addicted and I can't stop. But I don't like it. Solve my problems and maybe I'll buy from you. Unfortunately, all of us on this call, none of us are Martha Stewart. None of us are Rachel Ray. None of us are Ryan Reynolds. Dave is going to help me get closer, though, to that. I sense it. And so people don't know us. They don't care about us. Now, with a few exceptions, you didn't know about me before this Raptive event. Some of you did. Some of you we've been introduced. We ran into each other. Somebody else mentioned me, whatever. Or you took my course, or maybe you took a previous mastermind. But before that, you didn't know me because I wasn't on a billboard. I wasn't on TV. I wasn't anywhere. So you're here because Raptive says this Matt guy can help. And you didn't have to pay a dime to be here. Right? I mean, it's your time, and your time is very, very valuable. You're very important. I get it. But it'd be hard for me to sell you anything until I've built up trust. And that is true for you and everybody else. So we can build trust faster by serving better. Segmentation helps with that. When we serve better, we'll be able to convince them that we're a subject matter expert. My Disney Cruise people, I can serve them better than I can the Disney coloring page people. Because I have great content that I can give them over and over again that will save them time, money, and bring more magic to their life. The Disney coloring page people, I can keep talking about other Disney related stuff, but that's everywhere. The Disney Cruise people, very few people have gone on as many Disney cruises as I have and are willing to talk about it and have taken pictures and give them exact locations where to stand to see the fireworks and all this great stuff. I am sending them aha solutions to their problems in every email. Then after that, it's easier to monetize through ads, through products, through affiliate links. I'm spending more time on this than you think I probably should. The reason for that is that most of you will ignore me on this. Most of you will not do any of this that I'm telling you. The ones that want to make real money going forward will figure this out. Okay? So let's do this real quick. It's time for a sip of my fancy water again. It is still French and it is cold and I want some. So what are your top segments? Let's make a list. Right now, get out your number 2 pencil and I want you to jot down your top 5 segments. Who do you serve? It's not just moms with, it's not just busy moms, recipe bloggers, okay? That's not it. It's more than that. So dive deeper. Dave, it's not just dudes. Oh yeah, oui, LaCroix. Brought to you by the Olympics of Paris. Just imagine once I start having the Diet Mountain Dew, then it gets really weird. Okay, how'd you do? Who's willing to share? Down in the chat, drop some in there. Some are going to be obvious and some are not so obvious. I would love to know. While you're doing that, I'm going to give you some advice on how to build segments in email. There's a few different ways you can do this. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. Sandy's new to gluten-free, want to learn how to bake. Those are different things. Those are very different things. Kid-friendly recipes, that's different. Baking resources to help all level of bakers. Excellent. Beginner, intermediate, and advanced level cooking skills. Okay. Single guys who want dates, busy professionals who don't have time to learn about style. College grads entering the adult world for the first time. Yeah. Dads who can't pull off the same clothes they used to wear in college, but don't know how to pivot. I like that. Instant Pot users, Indian food enthusiasts, working moms who want 30 minutes, college kids making one pot meal. Interesting. Okay. Good. Fantastic. Good work, people. I'll keep an eye on this, what you're saying. All right. How do we actually build these segments out in our email list, technically speaking? Well, we can ask. We can send a survey out. So I'm not saying don't do this, but we know, you know, that your results are going to be limited when doing this. Not everybody likes to answer surveys. Very few people do. So you'll get some diehards that will give you some information. It will not paint your whole picture for you. And when you survey them, say you use a SurveyMonkey or something like that. Now, how do we attach them to the email address that we have on file? Well, when they reply, we've got to technically take the, what we know about their interests and then now import that into our email program. You can do that. Another thing you can do is you can tag your links. For example, Ria might have, she wants to build out an Indian specific segment, or people who love Indian food, I should say. She could have my 5 favorite things to make this weekend. One of those emails or one of those links in there could be an Indian specific recipe. You could tag that says anybody who ever clicks that is now interested in Indian food. I know that's a little, it's different. Indian is maybe not the best example, but Instant Pot certainly is. I mean, if they click on an Instant Pot recipe where Instant Pot is in the title, you know that they have an Instant Pot. I mean, we are pretty close on that assurity, right? So you could start to tag those people. You can also do retroactive list forensic. What does that mean? It means going back into your list. Maybe you had an ebook for years that was specifically how to use the Instant Pot. Well, you could go back and take every one of those people and using the tagging capability of your platform and apply a tag of interest Instant Pot to every one of those people. You can do that retroactively to people who, depending on what they signed up for. And the easiest, the easiest thing to do with some stronger assurity is to build different quick start guides or different lead magnets for each segment. Okay. Let's talk about this for just a second. Like some of the stuff that you're talking about, Michelle, are harder to do this way. New vegetarians versus people looking for easy vegetarian recipes versus parents who are trying to get their kids to eat vegetarian. That's harder to build out opt-ins with any sort of assurity. That's more of a guess because you're going to put out different things and test it. Are you a new vegetarian? Start here. That might be your quick start guide. Where do you show that? You show that everywhere, and then you tag them as new vegetarians. Part of this is we have to decide which of these segments is actually going to be valuable to us. Which ones do we really want to chase? I gave you the opportunity to start thinking it through, but not all of them are ones that are worthy of your attention going forward. Just to kind of know that they are there. But if we go to Instant Pot, this is a real easy one. Because you could put down I'm sure that all of your recipes, Anisha, are categorized in WordPress under Instant Pot category, I would hope. And if they're not, definitely do that. But you could show a different pop-up for Instant Pot on the Instant Pot only posts. Any post that's in that category, right? Then we know, and we tag them that they're interested in Instant Pot. And that allows us to send Instant Pot related recipes to them or create a Forever series just for them, like I did with Disney Cruise. So you see how this is done? The same is true for gluten-free, for baking with kids, busy professionals. Just try try some different segments because once you have them, but go for the obvious ones too. Go for the obvious ones. Sandy asks, I can't get pop-ups on categories with Flowdesk. Unfortunately, that's one of the limitations of Flowdesk. Almost every other platform will allow you to do that. If not directly in the platform, you can use ConvertBox, ConvertPro, OptinMonster, one of those softwares that I talked about yesterday to accomplish that. ConvertKit and MailChimp have it built into their plugins where you can target different categories. Probably others do too. If anybody's on ActiveCampaign or one of the others, let me know there too. What app can I use for surveys on my site? Or what plugin can I use? I think, honestly, I haven't done one in so long. Have any of you used something that you like? I know that there's, SurveyMonkey is the old school way of doing it. There's that form, it has the word form in it. Anyway, yeah, that might be one to ask around in some of the Facebook groups and see what people are doing for surveys. Okay, so we're going to build out these segments and we're going to be able to make a little bit more money. All right, I'll move on to a different, I'm going to touch on a different, before we're going to end at 10 o'clock today, or 10 Pacific today. But before we do that, I want to tell you about my family. You know, that's my pretty wife over there and my pretty kids. They're all very pretty, thanks to my wife. They, when they were old enough, this is 2019, we were like, okay, let's spend some money and let's go make a memory. So we decided to go to Europe, passed right by Michelle's house and waved at you. And we went to, I don't know, 3 different countries in 3 weeks, 4 different countries in 3 weeks, something like that. And because we were going to all these great places, I said, we need to travel light. And so I bought every one of them, one of these great travel backpacks from Peak Design. These backpacks have so many zippers. It's fantastic. I've turned into my father, who used to go into these stores and just spend hours looking at bags and their zippers. And I'm like, Dad, this is boring. I'm now that man. You give me something with a zipper where I can put a phone or something. It's fantastic. I get excited about that. Anyway, so we wanted backpacks because we were going to be hopping on and off trains. That was going to be our whole thing. And that was all they got to travel with. And I said, you can use these compression cubes. These are magical devices straight from, I'm convinced, from NASA science, where you can stick your t-shirts into one and your unmentionables into another, and you can zip it down and it compresses it down to super tight and it fits into my travel backpack. But let's not stop there. Take a look at this picture. Isn't that beautiful? No, I don't mean the Vista. I mean my shoes. These are my all-natural Allbirds that I wore on that trip. They were so comfortable. I could throw them in the wash when they got dirty, and you know, they handled all of the rigors of this travel. And I can't not tell you about my noise canceling headphones from Sony, because these bad boys made it so that I could put them on and travel across the pond, and I didn't hear those screaming kids on that plane at all. Why am I giving you this travel log? Besides, I like to brag that I went to Europe once. Well, because affiliate marketing is an underserved opportunity that all of you could, if you were willing to do it, tap into. Some of you are doing affiliate marketing. I want to do a very quick exercise here. I want you to make a list, and I'm serious about this. I need actual examples and I need actual brands. I want you to list as many tools related to your business that you can't live without, that make your life easier, that save you time, money, do the work of many tools, make you feel smart. You just can't stop talking about them. Dave, it sounds like you do affiliate stuff. But what are these tools that you use? What is your favorite cologne? What's in your knife drawer? This is fun for me, so humor me with this, will you? All right, what you got? Come on, just list me a couple here in the chat. Tell me what are some of what are your favorite tools? All right, Nisha, not just a knife. You use a specific knife. What knife is it? I'm not going to just bring over any old knife that I pick up at the thrift store and you're going to go, oh, that's great. All right, the Ninja Air Fryer, that's very specific. Keep going, Michelle, you got more. Ninja Creamy, the Therapin Thermapen MK4. It's so much better than the MK3, isn't it? I mean, they just really upgraded that Thermapen, if you ask me. The Staub Dutch oven. That's very specific. Why do you like the Staub? Just curious. What else do you have, people? Come on. Soups. All right. Okay. All right. We got gluten-free bread flour. Steve's. That's fantastic. Pro Chess knives. That's fun. Pro Chef. Oh, well, I was going to play chef, not checkers. Okay. All right. Why am I asking these questions? Oh, see, Ria's getting in there. She loves her Tinco vacuum and mop, the Dyson vacuum blower, the Samsung fridge, all clad pans that are unclad are just awkward. But if you put some clothes on them, they look fantastic. Hey, I get it. I love my stuff too. You love yours too. But don't you start? Did you hear that question that I asked Lavina? Why Staub? And she has a strong feeling. I mean, she used all caps to say soups. She is not going to use any old Dutch oven for soups. She has to use the Staub. Now, is Lavina an affiliate blogger, a deal blogger? Probably not. I don't know, Lavina. Maybe you are. But she has very strong opinions as a subject matter expert. And she is saying she has some spicy takes, like it's better than Le Creuset. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? People from LaCroix are going to fight you on that. So I want to talk about affiliate marketing. You are a subject matter expert. You have something to say. Your opinion matters very much to the people who follow you. That includes your email subscribers. You can solve problems that they need help with, that they don't even know they need help with. You can do things like how a certain item makes your life better. I have in the Disney Cruise Forever series on week 13 or something like that, it says Disney Cruise Insurance. Do you need it? Well, there's a 17% chance you will. Here's the pros and cons. And then, of course, there is a Disney Cruise or there's a cruise partner travel insurance affiliate. This right here, before the pandemic, was making me enough money to cover the cost of my list. Now, that's not making me rich, but doggone it, sure was defraying these costs and taking this out. And I wrote it one time, put it in a Forever series, it just runs. And it's serving them, it's helping them. That's on top of the fact that they were landing on my blog and I was getting paid by Raptive from them visiting to read this article. Now, what if that had been email number 1 in my Forever series? That'd be weird. The very first thing I hit them with is a sales pitch, like GD Trip Insurance. But 13 weeks in, well, Matt's been right about all this other stuff. He's probably right about this. Maybe I should listen to him. Do you see how that works? Building trust, serving the segment, solving their problems. Natasha has very strong feelings, kind of like Anisha, about knives. And she probably has a very specific knife set that she uses, just like Anisha does. You can make a list of tools that you just can't live without. Okay, I just cannot do gluten-free, or I cannot bake with kids without these things. And you can make a list of those. That's helpful. New tools. I'm going to change this, new tools. There's the best new air fryer accessories. Here's the best new Ninja Creamy accessories. The starter kit. For those of you who've ever done crafts and have done Cricut, the Cricut device has a billion different accessories. I don't think I'm exaggerating. They have so many accessories you could use with the Cricut device. What do you actually need to get started with a Cricut, and what don't you need? That cuts through the noise. It helps people. Just like in this case, what do you need for your first backpacking trip? Do I really need the headlamps? Do I need the compass? Spell it out for me. Maybe they just like you. You seem likable to me from this Zoom call. So maybe your audience likes you, like they like Oprah. Gift guides work great too. Dave's got to be using gift guides all the time, I would think. But this is also true for people who love to bake, who love cooking, who love Cincinnati. It's true for all of it. Now, you can also, even though you're not a deal blogger, you can create deal-ready content. So this is Merrick from Merrick's Art. When the semi-annual Nordstrom sale comes out, which comes out like every other month, it feels like, they put everything on sale. But the reality is that not everything is on sale. She's cutting through the noise and says, here's what I found for you. These are my favorite things. The same thing's true for Black Friday. for Amazon Prime Day. These are the best deals in grilling for Prime Day. So you can also use email now, once you have that, to drive affiliate sales in other ways. First of all, you can do what I did, which is like take that Disney Cruise trip insurance and add it to your Quick Start Guide, add it to your Forever Series. That's like cornerstone content. You can also send seasonal broadcasts. Hey, Prime Day is here. This is what I'm seeing as far as great deals. You can do what I was talking about with tags and triggers. So let's say that somebody clicks on Instant Pot recipe, you could tag them, and that could trigger a new series that talks about how to use your Instant Pot. What are the best accessories for Instant Pot? If you're going to get a different Instant Pot, get this one. Here are the recipes that go great with Instant Pot. You could even have a separate newsletter. I've done this with many clients where, depending on your niche, would you like to know about hot deals in grilling? You'll have people that will sign up for that, Christy. And if you have a VA or somebody just finds the hot deals and shares it, you can get paid both by sponsors and by affiliates. You can add affiliate content to your template like Corey George does here. So at the bottom of her crafts, down below, she has deals and steals, and she just changes out these snippets with her different vanity codes depending on the season. All right, there's lots of different things that you can do with that. One fun thing that I've done is actually create a new series. Summer is right here. Let's use Christy, for example. Again, I'm gonna go 2 minutes over. Christy's got Summer Grilling is Now the Time. You may want to buy this, whatever it was it the Ninja Grill? Her whole audience, she's got a whole list of people who either have it or don't have it. She could say, hey, everybody, just in time for May grilling, I have created a special email bonus. It's for, you only get it through email, and you can make this available to your existing subscribers or to new subscribers. And over the next 5 days, I will share with you what are the best grills for summer, how do you choose within a budget, and what are the recipes that work best with this. Then you could have affiliate links in those emails or in the content that you drive them to on your webpage. You can make this time bound and say, because this is a get ready for summer type of thing, this will end on May 15th. So you want to sign up for this now. And then you create a launch, you promote it everywhere. You can send it to your existing newsletter. You can put it on your social media. You can put it as a pop-up on your website. How to use the, just in time for springs or summer grilling, how to use the whatever, okay? And then you can have a big affiliate plays inside there. Ria, these are available in the Facebook group. The recordings are. If you can't get into there, let me know, and just send me an email, and I'll get you taken care of. Okay. Affiliate is an opportunity for you that is underserved. So today we've talked about a lot of things. No, it's drinking from the fire hose. The fire hose, I'm just turning it up tomorrow. Oh. Even more things, more ideas. They're coming at you fast and furious. If you have any specific questions, it's impossible for me to give you all the depth in a conversation like this, but I'm trying to plant little seeds so that something sticks, so that you have an idea. And hopefully you can make one of these ideas yours and use some of the templates and techniques we've been talking about. So I'm gonna stick around. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Tomorrow, we're getting into selling. We're getting into sponsorships. There are people that want to pay you to put ads in your newsletters, and I will show you that tomorrow too. So tomorrow's our last day. Make sure to bring any questions that you have that has not yet been answered, because we will never get to talk again. That's probably not true. That feels icky to me. So, but generally speaking, you know what I mean. Bring your questions tomorrow. All right, we'll see you. Okay, if you got a question, go ahead and unmute. Otherwise, get out of here.
Quick question about like once we have our list segmented, what type of new broadcast do we send out to our entire list, or do we just not do that anymore? That's like always what I've struggled with, is I have these like people who are signed up for very food specific things, and then I'm like, but everyone wants like dinner recipes. Everyone has to cook, seasonally for Thanksgiving. So how do we do that?
You just described something that would work for me. What are the segments that you're worried about?
I don't know. I just kind of have like, I have like macarons, like I was saying yesterday, I have charcuterie boards, like cocktails and drinks, just like recipe clumps. And I just like, if you want to make cocktails, do you also, want dinner recipes? I don't know.
I think you do.
Okay.
Now, here's how I approach it with different things. So like in the case of, let's just go back to the Disney. I'm going to serve the Disney Cruise people, obviously, a specific series. That's the Evergreen Forever series I have for them. If
Mhm.
seasonal things happen related to Disney Cruise, but doesn't happen very often. So I don't really have justification to send them a weekly seasonal newsletter for Disney Cruise. So I
Mhm.
stick with the Evergreen content. If something does happen, then I will do a one-off ad hoc email and I'll just send it to them. Now, then I start going, well, what else do I think or I know about these people? If you're picking a Disney cruise, you probably like Disney. So I'm also sending them my general interest Disney stuff, which I have a seasonal broadcast. And in this case, I have a general interest Forever series. I'm more aggressive, as you can tell. I send more emails. So I put that group into those groups as well. In your case, can we assume that somebody makes cocktails, also spends time in the kitchen doing other things?
Probably.
Probably. I would take that guess. Can we assume the opposite, that somebody is in the kitchen doing things like makes cocktails? No, absolutely not. We would alienate people that don't drink and they'll be ticked off at us that we send them alcoholic stuff, right?
Right.
So yeah, you got to make those guesses and then
Okay.
decide how aggressive do you want to be. I think in the case of parties and charcuterie and like there's how many macarons can one person make? So
You'd be surprised.
my guess is that there are some diehards for sure,
Yeah.
but that the 80-20 rule applies here, that some people just wanted to make macarons one time because they got back from Paris and they wanted to try to replicate it or whatever. But what does that tell us about them? They bake, they cook, they're willing to do the impressive projects, right? People don't just set out to make macarons. That's a
Right.
little bit more involved. So that person's a leveled up in the kitchen. So can you do something with that knowledge?
Okay. Okay, that's helpful. I think for me, just like with my products that I'm trying to like branch into with like ebooks and courses specific to, like around certain categories, I'm just scared that like unsubscribing over things that are paying me a lot less money compared to a $20-$30 product.
Right.
So I think I just am trying to, I guess, be a little bit weary of like my macaron people like really want macaron stuff.
Okay.
And like if I can keep serving up, new small recipe ebooks every month, the potential, I think, for that amount of money to get that I could make compared to just like, okay, I'll send you cookie recipes now. And then they unsubscribe because they're not interested.
Yeah, that's the whole game.
Okay, so you agree, you
Figuring that
understand my
out.
thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you got to figure that out, and you're
Okay.
leaving money on the table by being frozen with inaction.
Okay.
If you told me that you are making thousands of dollars off of ebook sales, then that would be one thing. If you told me you want to make thousands of dollars off of ebook sales, but you are not yet doing so, then that's a different discussion.
Fair enough.
So if you are not yet making thousands of dollars off of ebook sales, we would say, why? Well, I don't have a big enough an audience, or my product market fit just isn't there yet.
Okay.
So how do I get them there? You can't sell them anything until you've built trust. Now, I don't know what that is in the macaron world, and then selling them a macaron
Okay.
ebook. My guess is that you still have to show that you're a subject matter expert by giving them some free things.
Right.
And then
Right.
saying, if you really want to do this well, you need to sign up for my course or my ebook. And this is just, you go next level much faster. But
Okay.
then, and we're going to talk about this in more depth tomorrow about selling a product, but how often can you hit them with that sale before you've blown it? And then if you just let it sit there and you don't email them anything, they forget who you were. So it still comes down to, if you're not actually selling much in the way that's a substantial volume, then I'm assessing that strategy differently.
Okay. Okay. I think that's helpful.
Okay.
That gives me a lot to think about. So
Yeah, it's not a magical easy answer. Anisha's raising her hand politely. Anisha, you sat in the front row of the class, didn't you? You were a good student.
I was actually.
I can tell. Yeah. No, I can see it.
Um, so the only affiliates that I do right now are Amazon affiliates. And I'm not sure, unless things have changed recently, Amazon prohibits you from placing a direct link in email newsletters.
That's true.
So they only permit me to put it to my storefront, which I think no one clicks.
Agreed.
It's just, yeah. So how do I work around this? Like, I actually have a lot of stuff that on Instagram, people will keep DMing, oh, which is this pan? Tell me the knife, tell me this, tell me that.
Okay.
But there's no way for me to send them that information in newsletters.
Okay, so let's just take an extra step with that. So for example, and you're absolutely right, Amazon doesn't allow you to do that. So the way I make money off Amazon, well, first you'll make more if you move away from Amazon, find other affiliates. But if you're stuck on the Amazon side of things, there's a few things that you could do. Number one, the gift guide analogy. I'm not saying this is a gift guide thing, but that analogy where you come to a website and it outlines here's the kitchen tools I can't live without. For example, Sally from Sally's Baking Addiction. She's huge. She's fantastic. A lot of people know her. She, in her Forever series, has an email. At least she used to, unless she's taken it out. Maybe she has. But that was the kitchen tools I can't live without. And it takes you to a roundup. And she actually ranks for that roundup. So she is getting traffic to it that way. And she's sending her social people there. And she's sending her email people there. So an email is simply hey, it's over there. It's over there. You want to know where it is? Just click here and I'll show you. And then it's on that post.
Okay.
So in your case, like the pans, like, you want to know what pan I use the most? Click here. And then you take them to a web page where you talk about your pan, why you like it, 3 different pictures of you using the pan happily, and then with affiliate links spread throughout.
Okay.
I do recommend thinking about other affiliate programs too. People who get, and I'll talk more about this tomorrow too, but let's say that you had a dream of being sponsored by Staub. Okay. Wouldn't it be great if Staub paid you to promote the products that you love so much? How do you get that? Well, does Staub have an affiliate program? And if not, does Amazon have Staub products? How can I make money off of affiliate off Staub first? Because once I do that, I get a track record. Let's say you become a really good affiliate for Staub or for Cricut or for ButcherBox. They're going to go, what happens? I know this because I've been on the other side of it. They're going to go, there's going to be a manager on the other side that's going to be looking at his or her spreadsheet and they're going to say, oh my goodness, Lavina's blog is, sending us a lot of sales. What's going on there? And then they're going to dig in and then they're going to find out that Lavina is a legitimate, valued partner who showcases things the right way, is authentic and honest about her reviews of the products, but is consistent about it and doesn't shy away from it. And they're going to go, wow, we love Lavina. How can we increase our partnership? Or Lavina is going to go to them and find the affiliate manager and say, hey, I sent you 2,000 sales in the last 3 months. Let's have a conversation. I need increased commission. That's a thing. And I, on the other side, is that affiliate manager who is very busy, and I have a boss that is breathing down my neck to get my sales up. And I see those results either proactively or Lavina brings them to me. I'm realistically going to consider her request for increased commission. I may come back to her and say, okay, what other promotion can you do for that increased commission? And she might say, well, tell you what, I'll send it in 3 additional blasts in my newsletter this month. And it's going to be a big focus on social media for me this month. Let's make it 15% instead of 5%. Done. Now, the reason the affiliate manager might go for that is because it's no cash out of her pocket until it happens. It's results driven. So affiliate is a great precursor. If you want to start getting good at, if you want to get the free money, which is not free, of the sponsorships, prove it. If you're smaller, prove it this way. If you can't get their attention for sponsorships, prove it by getting the results and putting in the time and effort. This is where that you have to experiment comes into play as well.
Okay.
There's the first time you take a sponsor or an affiliate and we've all been there, we've seen it done, and you get an email from somebody for the first time mentioning a product, you're like, what? Okay. Nah. But the third time, the sixth time, the 10th time, like, oh my gosh, Anisha absolutely loves her whatever knife set. She keeps talking about it. She must really love it. And it starts to become part of Spice Cravings brand. And like, oh, okay. Now now it's there. I'm gonna start thinking about it. And then over time, it starts to take off. If we just do a one and done, it's just not going to go anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anybody else have questions? All right. Let's go rest up, launch your stuff, write your emails. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, everybody. Thanks. Bye.